Hey there, everyone. Since we did the furniture blueprint this morning, the basic butt joint, we burnt through a whole bunch of our lumber and stuff. And so I thought we would go through and replenish a little bit of that, and I would go over tree harvesting um, again a little bit. So there's going to be three sizes. What we got here? Large um, gives you the medium boards or the normal boards. These will give us the small boards. And you need all three types for that basic butt joint. And the tree shapings um, in varying amounts. I think it was 75 shavings, 18 short moonleaf boards, two moonleaf boards, and one long moonleaf board, which comes off the level 3. Um, oh, the other thing we're going to want to do here is take a skill pill. I take a skill pill if I have it every time I go um, tree harvesting, just because the skills are kind of hard to come by, and so I always find it worthwhile. See, we're getting some geology, so if you want to be a miner, you can get that up a ways and unlock those early unlocks at level 10. We get some biology that goes into the looting skills, which is what I like doing this for. I'm really big into the animal looting skills. I think I'm level 35 on that now, and so I'm still trying to work that up a little bit because it improves the loot and or improves how much you get. There's some argument on what it actually does. But at one point, I went from getting all shrapnel, and then I crossed over somewhere in the 20s, I think, level 25 maybe, or 28, not real sure. I crossed over and I started getting more, a better variety loot, we'll say. And so I started getting some hides and some extractors and stuff. And before that, it was pretty much 100% just all shrapnel. And so this whole island here will have trees on it. It's nice because you can teleport to it. It's where they have all the instances um, for the Tolan mobs, and then a handful that have Calypso mobs. Shift this around a little bit. Um, let's. I was hoping we get some more skills, and we will as we go. Um, it could take a second because I'm starting to get a handful of skills. We'll say. You see, my geology is close to 2,800, and I'm still only a level 9 treasure hunter because I don't do that. Maybe we should stop at Arcadia at some point and check that out. I think that's in the Arcadia Underground, in which we have some deets for that. So I guess it would behoove me to learn a little bit more about um, that. Um, and I put this armor on because it has a little bit of a reload boost. Oh, but what I should also put on, and I forgot about it until I started to talk about it, is my hat. Got my tinfoil hat. Um, it's the middle one. I saw they have a superior out, and I haven't bothered to grab it yet, but it looked pretty neat. And this is just so that we'll harvest a little faster. Looks like we got some perception right there. That goes into all the looting skills, I'm pretty sure. They might even go into the robot lootings. Um, some biology. I just really like the sheer amount of skills you get when you do this. Plus, typically I'll get 90% returns on the trade terminal value. And so, like with these axes, I'll almost always get 13 and a half, 14, 14 and a half ped. Sometimes the rare break even, obviously. Um, and so between the skills and the almost breaking even every time, um, like only losing a ped max, ped and a half, um, unless I have a really bad run, I suppose. I don't really keep track of it anymore. Um, I looked at it and did some at one point and did kind of crunch the numbers on it a little bit. And I'm gonna put this on because I'm gonna try and grab a little bit of these normal boards for a second. Um, yep. And obviously the level three trees, the huge trees, are pretty rare to come across. I also like that the level one tool here is a axe, and not like that um, tool I just used to cut down that large tree, which is more like a chainsaw type thing. I like this one because it's like you're a lumberjack. I kind of wish their trade terminal melee weapon was an axe like that as well. All right, so what else skills are we getting? Resource gathering, zoology. Oh, that's a big one. Genetics that goes into the mutant hunter. And so peripherally, you can work up any of the looting professions by doing this tree cutting. Um, Analysis, I'm pretty sure it goes into everything. It goes into the animal looting and the mutant looting for sure. Um, Pretty sure it goes into the robot looting. But I'm gonna be honest, I haven't uh, looked at that a lot because I don't really hunt robots too often. I tend to stick to the animals. Although I noticed that some of the monsters here, um, like the cawfish and whatnot, are mutants and not animals. Same with Rocktopia, though. They have the zombies, and so being able to work up my peripheral skills to a reasonable level so that I can then work up that main skill. Um, I guess by either chipping it in or by killing a lot of that type of mob. Um, you know, I'm not sure which route I'll go. I want to say I'll just kill the mobs because it's more entertaining that way. Um, but sometimes the losses are pretty substantial in the beginning, and it's almost worth it to chip in a small amount to get you over that starter threshold, so to speak. Grab these level 2 boards. We'll hack that one down. But you see, we still haven't seen a level 3 tree yet. Um, and so that's why I was talking about with them being pretty rare. And this one was a little damaged before I started, but we've already got about halfway through an axe just on this island. And you see, we've got already, well, not very much there, but um, but that's just because I'm level 38 there. It takes a second to move that one. It'll get like probably like 3-4%, I think, by the end of about 3 tools. Oh, yep. So that analysis does go into that robot looter because it popped up showing that we'd made a little bit of gains towards that. And so it goes into all three, obviously. Oh, there's a huge tree right there. That'll be our first round of level 3 boards. Oh, I clicked a little too early. And this would be the island circuit there. And you see it only took just a few minutes to work our way around this little island and get all the trees. And we got a significant amount of boards. Well, not super significant, but 174 boards in just a few minutes on this easy island that you can teleport to. Um, Hard to go wrong there. But now we'll head to this teleporter. Before you used to have to fly over here to this jelly zone, but under the new management for Tolan, the planetary partners added a teleporter up there by that jelly zone, which is super handy. And then we'll go back and get our axe. And over here's the sun jocks. Down there's the jellies. But we're going to head across the river here. And on that strip, you can almost always find a whole bunch of trees unless someone's gone through it recently. Oh, right there's one. And the other thing I kind of wanted to go over, I'm going to use the level 1 tool on this large tree. And we'll see that if you use the lower tool on the bigger trees, you'll still only get the level 1 boards, which comes in handy when you're trying to get a lot of level 1 boards, but you already have enough level 2 boards. And you see we get these level 1 boards. Well, someone's been through here kind of recently. Normally it'd be more densely packed. It looks like I got hung up on that tree for a second. I went to go take a drink of coffee, and I got hung up on that tree, trying to reach this tree to cut it down. You see, there's a whole lot of trees in here that are harvestable. Oh, broke the axe already. Let's grab the next one. But again, we've only seen that one huge tree so far. Um, this is really good to build up perception, uh, but it's doubly easy to build up perception on Tolan because you can also do that daily Bari 35 and kill those um, lower level ones that are kind of in this stretch down here. It doesn't take very much to knock them down. I've done it in pixie armor, and it gives perception as a reward as well. And so you can really work your perception up a variety of ways here on Tolan, which is super. I mean, how do you go wrong there? I mean, I experimented a little bit. That's why I went with the reload armor to break the axes slightly faster over the acceleration armor that you get in that starter pack, which would allow me to get to the next tree faster, so to speak. Um, the turnaround on the actual harvesting faster seemed to be a bigger deal than the time in between trees. But there is a lot of places to pull trees here in on Tolan, and we're gonna hit them unless we break all three of the tools too fast, I guess. Down this stretch, the whole stretch down here has trees. This island has trees. There's a little spot outside of Guardian Village, or not Guardian Village, Nahar City there, that has like two trees, and then you go up a little further past the statue stuff, and there's two more trees. And then down here at Pit, this teleporter, there's trees around the teleporter, but then they put more trees in kind of along this stretch. And so I commend the Tolan team on continuing to upgrade the planet. And the monthly events are really nice as well. Well, that was a nice hit. We got 7 boards on that one. I'm really hoping they'll do a little more with this gardening profession at some point. They introduced it, but then they didn't ever really go anywhere. It didn't seem. And so I'm hoping that at some point they'll circle back around and do something with that. I mean, they have a whole profession in line. You could grow fruit, I guess, at some point to make Nutrio bars, or I'm not real sure. Again, they didn't seem to really go anywhere. Like they introduced it, gave it a couple of perks, and then nothing ever happened. Except I guess it gave us Calypso and Calypso X deeds, which somehow dropped the price. And so those are the ones I like to buy. Now that I've talked about it going all the way down, I kind of want to go do the other one areas first. Um, but we'll just kind of power through this a little bit and shoot down the coast. looks like these have been cleared out a little bit. You know what? We'll just go ahead and drop a cheap probe too. Oh, that was the finder. That wasn't a cheap probe. Oops. So I wasn't meaning to use the F101 there, but we'll wait. Nothing. Okay. My mistake. That was a whoopsie. I'm really excited to get some that analysis and that zoology and the biology, of course, as well. I'm trying to get all those up into that 3,000 zone, along with my machinery while I'm on this planet. The biology and stuff goes up a lot slower than the machinery, though, because I don't have a daily quest that gives me 40 something points every day, like Nadira's Apprentice. And that's been really helpful because that skill's really hard to build up. Oh, there's a huge tree. Let's get that one first. And my branching off for the huge tree stems from when trees first came out, people would just roll up and the fight for the big boards was more substantial, we'll say. Probably because the markup was really high at that time on those boards. For whatever reason, they were commanding like 1,000% markup when the all that first happened. Now we'll go back to the lower boards. Although if you're doing this for the mutant looter, the genetics does work up a little bit slower than all the other skills. Let's see if I can pull up the yeah. See how I'm only at barely getting to 2,000 on the genetics, but on zoology I'm at like 3,000 almost. Botany I'm at 2,500. Zoology, oh, we already covered that one. What was the other one? Oh, biology, 2,700. And so the genetic skill works up pretty significantly slower because of the parabolic nature of how skills are in this game. Like 1K is I think around 2.5 ped trade terminal value for skill, and by the time you hit 2K, it's 10 ped, and at 3K, it's 20 ped or something to that effect. It's been a while since I've really looked at it, so I'm not 100% sure on the exact conversion. And then these will have trees kind of down this side, and then across the water, they'll start to have harvestable trees. Yep, right there's one. Um, the other thing I like that they did is they added in, it says small tree, but let's be honest, that's really a bush. And so they added harvestable bushes in. Before, all the trees were like trees, like the same kind. And so now they added a little variety, like these little bushes can spawn and be small trees. But if you didn't want the level 1 boards, you could literally just see how I hit it once, and we'll harvest this one. and those small trees take about 30 seconds to disappear. But as soon as you hit it once, the countdown starts on those trees, and so it'll literally just disappear here over the next probably 15 seconds or so. Yep, right there it goes. Um, and so you can harvest them the whole way, or if you're trying to get more level 2 or level 3 boards and not so much the level 1s, you can just hit it once, hit the next one, one, all the way down the stretch, and then come back and see if you got later when they respawn, which takes a couple hours, I think, and see what if you got any huge trees to spawn in that time. Oh, we just leveled up a skill. What do we get? Level 10 Technology Investigator. I don't think that really does anything for us, but I always like leveling up a profession, even if I don't use it. We're gonna grab some more of those medium boards. Oh, here we go. You see, we finally started to get a little sliver of a XP boost there. It looks like. Um, and so even at level 38, uh, one tool or two tools, and you get at least a small little boost, 1% or whatever, towards the next. And so it takes a while to get the next level, but it's not like forever, and it's pretty cheap when we think about it. I mean, three three tools is like 1.5 ped loss when you're finally said and done for about one to 2%, maybe even 3% of a level on, and that's at the mid range. At the early range, you get really good um, XP, so to speak, on the profession as you go through. The other skill that I'm not sure if we've got a skill up yet. That's but that's really handy that you get while tree harvesting is going to be athletics because it goes into the evaded professions. Evader, dodger, probably captain. I'm not 100% sure on that last one though. And so, oh yep, there's going to be some trees up there. We'll go ahead and leave those up. But for the person that wants to cut every tree down, there's going to be two or three or four up in there, right at the edge, kind of right before you get to those dahars. And then I think we're almost close enough. I could use that teleport feature to get to that middle spot. Um, so there's going to be a few along this little corridor probably. Oh, yep, right there's a couple. So we'll go hit those on our way down. And then it turns into where the Dahars are kind of up along the water. At that point, we kind of just restart around that middle teleport or middle safe, or I don't know what they call them, complex. It's like a city thing, but there's no teleport or anything there. So, ooh, there's a huge one. Let's get our big thing out. And sometimes they're a one hit and done on the huge trees, and that's always sad. You're always hopeful to get a few rounds of pulls. Yep, there'll be a couple more over here, I imagine. Oh yeah, up in there. There's one or two. But we're just gonna fly onto the that middle spot I was talking about. And it's a real short jaunt, but sometimes these will have a tree intermixed there. I kind of skip them because I don't want to have to kill these dahars or have them jump on me and have to drown them in the water or whatnot. And here we are at the next little outpost. We'll land, I'll pick this thing up, and this, there'll be some harvestable trees right here on the edge. Yep, right there's the first one. One over there, couple over here. But I think you can see why I would always want to use a skill pill while doing this, if you have one. And if you buy those ammo refill packs, they come with some skill pills. Or sorry, not the ammo refill. The starter refill pack comes with ammo and some skill pills, not to be confused with the ammo pack, which comes with some loot pills and some ammo and those. They both come with those HDNA things that allow you to revive yourself if you pushed a little too hard and or forgot to heal, which I seem to do semi-regularly. Mainly I just don't notice that my life has dropped super far. All right. So that looks like all of that. Oh, we're down here, so now we're gonna move forward to the next spot here. Oh, whoa. I don't know what happened there. Let's grab our board. All right. Now let's Let's get out of the water. And we will grab our little axe. Yep, right there's going to be one. And then it'll circle around, and there'll be like the Jeep Kahars, the Q ones, on the one edge. And then we'll have the water on the other edge, and there'll be trees in kind of in between. And then we'll shoot down a little bit. Um, and then it'll start up where we're having trees again. There's a short stretch right here where obviously you see there's nothing. But I like to stop there at that little grove and get the one or two that's right there before we move on into this area where there's mobs potentially that will aggro on us because they have a reasonable aggro range. And I like to push my luck sometimes. Ooh, what do we get there? Oh, there's a little stone. We will take that. But if you accidentally get too close and they aggro like that one just did, um, you could throw down your Slipnir and jump in it to de-aggro them. But I like to just drown them in the water. And just like that, they're gone, and we can go back to harvesting our trees and gaining our skills. Um, and this way, it doesn't waste too much of our skill pill we got going on. And on top of that, we don't have to waste any fuel. And so my preference is to just take them out into the ocean there and swim for a second. Let's move on down this way. And I'm going to leave those up because I don't want to aggro those ones. So there's just so many trees on this planet. And they added more since the last time I was here, which is good because before you actually had a bunch, well, not a bunch, you had a handful of people that were choosing to skill up on the trees, and so you would almost never find them up. So every 90 minutes or so, one of the people that was trying to skill up on that would make a trip through and get all the ones that were up. And so the amount that were up at one time was vastly diminished, we'll say. That's a little bit of a run, too. A little bit of run, and I'm starting to be overweight. So we'll hop on our little hoverboard that my buddy Don gave me. Oh, I thought I said pickup. Yeah, there we go. You see, these are going to be harvestable trees. 2, 3, and along this edge. Again, there's more in the middle there. I just don't like having to kill those mobs to try to get to them. Oh, we got some fruit there. Let's grab that. Not a lot, but every little bit helps. Right. Oh, that one's harvestable, and then that one there, that green one, on the far edge will be harvestable. I'm gonna slap down my little vehicle again. Hover pod. Oh, where'd it go? Hover pod. Yep, right here. And show you the next area. That's a harvestable tree. That's a harvestable tree. That's a harvestable tree. So is that one. So is that one. And that one. That green one we just went by. And then this teleporter right here, we'll go ahead and pick that up. Should probably drop some of that wood off. Um, that one's harvestable. That one's harvestable. I'm going to show you a little trick. Now, obviously, I don't have to do this because um, there's a storage right there. But I do like to kind of show this trick. If you're out in the wilderness, you can just load up your um, vehicle and then just drop it. And then recall it. And it'll be in your storage, but you're not encumbered anymore. And so you can keep harvesting. And so if you're in a big stretch in the middle of a high skill pill, 50%, 100% or something, and you just want to keep running through, um, that's a little trick that might help you out. And I found out about it by a guy that was on Rocktopia doing the forest there. And I literally watched him pull out one of those armored pig vehicles um, that have the high capacity, weight capacity, and he just loaded it up and sent it back. And then I saw him a little ways later, same thing. And so he was just using them as, let me put this in storage real fast. Um, and so I like to pass on that little trick because it is really handy. You see there's a little 4-pack here. There's going to be one here. There'll be one on the other side of this walk bridge thing on the right hand side. And then there's going to be one up there on that ledge, kind of past that rock. And there'll be one down right past the point where it goes PvP here. There's one tree, one single tree. I don't understand it, but it's only one. And then you don't want to be in the PvP area for trees. It's a bunch of high level mobs, um, like level 32 coffish. And so it's just not not the place to go to do the easy tree cutting. Plus, I actually didn't see any trees for the most part when I was there. And then there's going to be like a tree up on this little ledge up here. And then there's a few on the way into here by this event. The event area has some harvestable trees as well. But there's a really super high density of mobs they put there. And so I try to avoid that when I'm tree cutting. Just because there's so many other better options on this planet that I'm rarely to the point where I'm like, and I'm gonna have to go hit the event area because I ran out of trees. You would need a bunch of ammo anyway if you decided to do that. I'm gonna put on my speed boost so we can get this teleporter a little faster, and then we'll hit up this pit north next, and I'll show you where the trees are there, and then I'll show you the ones that are around Guardian Village, and we'll probably end up at and cap out at Nahar City. And we're almost to the teleporter. I went the wrong way for a sec. So there's the NPC that gives you the kill 100 Bari mission for the evade reward. That's not why we're here this time. This time, we're here for the trees. If we right click, you'll see I'm not getting anything. You literally will have to run in and get close enough on some of the ones here. I'm not real sure why it's a little buggy like that. Just be advised, you'll be standing there swinging at nothing for hours and getting nothing if you don't get close enough first on some of these trees here. And like I said, it'll stop. If you right click on it, it'll stop too far out. Oh, that's a huge tree there. We're going to be grabbing our other one to get that. You see how it stopped way out there, and I really needed to be kind of in here. Get our level 3 boards here. And then out here is typically on this edge um, where these coppices spawn. There'll be a bunch of, oh, there's one. You can typically find some trees as well. And usually these aren't far enough out that they interfere with the harvesting of the trees. I think there's trees down this stretch, but with a bunch of these, not the youngest maturity ones hanging out, I try to avoid that. There's a couple, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. And so they put a little bit more of a grouping of trees in here at this particular spot. this spot, a lot of the people don't really seem to utilize as much because often I'm able to come here and find these trees up even when the other areas have been hit. We'll hit this large tree. I'm gonna leave this other tree up to the side for the next guy or girl. And we'll go hit up the teleporter. We'll go to Guardian Village next, and I'll show you where there's actually trees that spawn inside the village, and then one that spawns right outside the village, and then a couple on the edge of the waterway, and then a bunch on that island, like 6 on that island. So I'm hoping no one's hit that, so I can show you the little clumping or grove or whatever you want to call it that's on that island. See, right here's a tree, right as you get off the teleporter, and there's 2 more down there. And then a lot of times there'll be one right outside here. Yep, right there it is. We'll go hit that one. He's wanting the cabuses. It's just a young. Well, I hope he's still having a fun day, since his name is I had a fun day. But it's past tense. Let's slap down this. Where'd my little vehicle go? Yeah, there we go. Because the next one's a little ways. And so I'd like to get there quickly. And I kind of want to do tricks now. Oh, well, that was almost a like 360. A little backflip or something. Oh, I'm really certain I hit the pickup button, but oh well. Oh, that's a huge tree. And I hit it with the wrong one. Oh well. It happens. So there's one, and there'll be one right there. And I don't know why I put that little vehicle up. We're going to want it to go across the water. And so right up here at this first hill is going to be where that grove of trees I was talking about is. grab our little axe out. And, oh, someone's been here recently. Normally there's like 3 or 4. It's interesting that this is the one spot that seems to have been hit recently. Um, and the other areas where there are more trees, they kind of left for us. So yeah, there'll be 4 or 5 up there. There'll be, oh, there is one down there. One down there, another over here somewhere, and then there'll be 2 over there on that edge. And I'm not even going to go check and see if they're there this time. With this being hit, I'm just going to assume not. And so we will go back to Guardian Village, and I'll show you where the ones are at Nahar City. And that will wrap up our tour of the woodcutting facilities of Toulan. Well, I'm not quite ready for the X Games, but we're getting close. Alright, and then we're hitting up Nahar City here. And we will want to go out the gate immediately, because I haven't found any in the city per se. But as soon as we get out this gate, we're going to come across a couple. Oh, it seems he has a quest. We might be checking that out later. Yep, see the green one? All the green ones, they're a different color here from the other trees, which is kind of nice to know whether they're up or not. There's going to be 3 here and then 2 further up the way, past the statues. But I thought since we're about out of this skill pill that we would kind of burn through these last few. How much of this are we into? So we burn out about 2 full tools at this point. Because like I said, that first one was a little bit of a partial. And we've got about 3% of a level. And then it's a short run up this little walkway. Pathway, I guess you would call it. I like to shift around because I've got hung up on those little feet things, or shoes, or whatever that statue has going on. And same thing with this. That's why I always shoot to the right. Because I've got caught in there. Then we're gonna boom, bada boom. You get two more trees here. Well, that was a nice hit. We got 12 boards on that one. And so that's all the trees here at Nahar City. And so as soon as I finish that one, I always just hit that T button to teleport to the next, to that revival spot, which will actually get us right back into Nahar City. And we can go hit the teleporter and shoot out to the next area that we think might have trees. Or you can go start doing something else. Go on a small hunt while you let them repopulate a little bit. Because, like I said, it does take a couple hours for them to fully respawn. I think you start getting respawns not like it doesn't take too long. But I haven't actually timed those respawns. But we could shoot out to flora and fauna real fast to finish this off and see what sort of respawns we have. And then out we go. Right there's the teleporter. All right, let's take a look see. So you see we've got a little bit of respawns. It's not as populated as it was before. 'Cause we don't have those three on the river's edge. And so it looks like we've just started to respawn here. Um, which allows you to just keep going. I mean, drop off your boards, grab some more tools, um, and you can probably just take another round. Although, again, it looks like we're just starting to respawn, so there's not um, a full respawn of trees, and so I don't think you'll get the same amount on the second round through, unless you wait a little bit. Uh, Conversely, if you wait a little bit, you risk someone else coming through and taking them all down again, and you being back to square one. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope everyone's having an epic day.